Greetings everyone, and welcome back to the After Action Report series on Advanced Tactics Gold, GD 1938. That's the scenario. I assume at this point you know. I probably won't have to mention that every single time. So the state of affairs is that now Germany and I have agreed, after Poland has fallen, to divvy up the lands just based on these hexes. I will be taking everything 70 and east. He will be taking everything 69 and west. So despite that rough encounter with the British, who now have pushed through and actually cut off the line between Benghazi and Tripoli, I even don't know how good supply will flow for them, considering... oh, I see, they've actually taken the port. Well, that's really horrible. So this may end up being a very quick series if Germany can't right the ship. Now, Germany was still a threat even when the Mediterranean was closed, but because of the nature of everything, how the British, obviously, the attacker has the huge initiative in a game which goes by in 1 month turns. So if you have a whole month, basically, of free fire, you can just hit the enemy so hard before they're able to react. It's one of the reasons why I'm scared, because Germany will have that same advantage against me one day, but I'm trying not to again voice my displeasure at the the British declaration of war on the Italians, but I suppose that's just going to come out because it is how I feel. One interesting thing is Anschluss happened, but the wrong way. Italy is the one who took Austria due to diplomatic relations. I'm not really sure how that worked out, but whatever, it did. And hey, in a way it's good because Vienna will now provide quite a lot of... Actually, their people are German, so I'm not sure... I actually don't know the cut in production you take for having a different person's city. A lot of these are European people, which means that anybody is free to use them at... If I understand the briefing that I read, at least, that if it's Russian, okay, then I will be able to use it just fine. But if it's European, anybody can use them just as effectively as their home. I just don't know what kind of... I mean, I'm not 100% sure about that. That's what I've come to believe, at least. But I'm also very much not sure what is the decline that I would take if I captured a German city, for example, or that an Italian would take with a German city, or maybe one day the British holding an Italian city. I hope not too soon, because if we have a quick collapse... I mean, Great Benghazi is just a port, so all it really allows is the construction of ships, which, okay, I guess it's not important to Russia, so maybe I'm not giving it its due importance, but to me it's not so important. It's just unfortunate because, basically the Mediterranean's already conquered. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, enough. What am I going to do for this turn? Well, I think we're just going to keep things very simple. Stack our units where they are, kind of just build up fortifications. Build up our entrenchment bonus. It seems to make a little bit of sense to me. We'll move this guy here. Move this headquarters forward a little bit. We have these guys who are able to come in and insist. Now we're actually almost at the max number of units here. That is something you have to consider, that you are only allowed a certain number of counters in a hex, regardless of the number of subformations that they have. One way around this is just to combine two like counters into the same one, make it one big counter. There's nothing to stop you from doing that. The only thing to stop us from doing that is that they will take a small readiness penalty for doing so. I don't expect that Warsaw is going to attack us. They know who their enemy is. I think the French player, even though I've said that he's free to attack me and do whatever, it wouldn't make sense for him to do any kind of attack here. But even though he would have... Actually, it does make sense because he would have at least two sides to attack me from. But their units are just in the worst, deplorable state. They have just no readiness remaining from the attack into Poznan. if it didn't put us in such a bad situation, no, they do have a couple units that are still fighting. So lots of broken units with a few healthy units mixed in. Enough healthy units to discourage us from doing anything, at least. Yeah, and by enough, I mean even like 2, which is, they have 3, 4, 5. They have 5, 6, oh, they have 6 healthy units. Actually, yeah, that's a pretty substantial force, and it turns out. So, I mean, they could counter. I don't see Poland being commanded by France, and France knowing that ultimately the Russians aren't their enemy. I can't see them really engaging our forces. But nonetheless, let's play nice and safe. We'll move our force here. Another thing I was thinking we could do... Oh, we're going to move all these guys forward. So let's see. They can only get into Kiev. That's unfortunate. How far forward can you go, my friend? Over here? Well, make it so. Our tank can go... Are those 2 different colors? Oh, good God, they are. Do we have a yellow? Let's check. We don't have like a yellow. I think I'm going to take this brownish color and make it a yellow so that we have a little bit easier time distinguishing. I don't mind making it a brown yellow, so maybe... But just something to distinguish it a little bit more. It's just too much the same right now. Let's try this like sand color. Now if I'm able to zoom in, zoom out, zoom in. Good. I think that is much better. The orange and the yellow are a little bit similar. I probably should go a little bit more with a yellow. So define this, just move it a little bit more that direction. Okay, yeah, that's going to help a little bit more between the yellow and the orange. It's better than it was with the greens at least, because that was just, even these greens are, yeah, I'll probably have to rearrange all these colors off camera, but yeah, I haven't done anything like that yet. I haven't really like taken stock of the situation. I've been just flying by the seat of my pants ever since this game began, which is kind of fun to do, but probably not. I'm missing, I'm sure, some optimal behavior, some optimal things I should be doing, especially in a multiplayer game with people who are veterans of this scenario, whereas I'm obviously not. Okay, so anyway, that doesn't impact anything but just the graphical user interface. I actually, if I could make this orange more of an orange, that might also help. So, just to allow a little bit better time. Yeah, that orange and yellow seems to be pretty distinct to me. I don't like it when the background, the red background we have, is almost matching the orange that we have here. That's not ideal. What if we just go with this? We're back to the same problem. I don't want to spend the entire time bogging down in this. If I can help it. Okay, well, you know, whatever. Good enough. I'll fix it off camera. So our mission this time is just going to be to again bring up the artillery to bombard Warsaw, and then again to just bring our planes in to bombard. In fact, we might have a better time bombarding these units with our aircraft, because we did lose aircraft last turn, and I would really prefer to avoid that. I want them to get experience, but I don't want them dying. So even though it would hurt the Polish effort more if I bombarded Warsaw directly, I think what we'll end up doing is not doing that. We'll end up bombarding the units here just to try to steal a few kills, get a little bit of experience. Now, where can these guys go? If it takes 50 for them to move there, we'll run into that stacking problem as I mentioned, but I think that's okay. Get one in there. Can this one also fit? No. Oh, we're already at our limit. Well, is it worth it maybe to take one person out here? Yellow is the close one. Orange is the one further away. Okay, so orange is a little further away, but that I'm not going to pull out motorized or tanks. Yeah, this cavalry is probably not the best at defending. Let's move this cavalry over here just to make room for one more artillery piece. I think for now we're going to leave this guy just defending solo. No, we don't need to. We can actually get some cavalry into support. So that's a little bit helpful. I like cavalry also because they do have slightly better scouting recon points, 2 per, rather than our normal infantry is just stuck at 0. Yeah, that explains why we're not getting much scouting. What about horses? Do they have? Yeah, okay. So you actually need cavalry around unless you use your recon planes. I really like that dynamic. So that it's just the more you get into this GD 1938 scenario, I think the more you really will appreciate it. I've actually even considered, I don't have the time to do it right now. God knows I don't have the time, but I've even considered doing like my own GD 1938 campaign against myself, which means that I don't like it when I slow other people down. We're trying to get these turns out every day, and I would say I'm doing every day, and then every other day, then every day, then every other day. You know, I'm slipping more towards every other day, and I don't want to be that person who really slows down the whole series. I don't want to do that. It's not fair. So we'll try to avoid that. In the meantime, I see no reason not to bring these guys up. Eventually we're going to need a huge concentration of forces around here because this is going to be the area that has to hold against the Germans. And although the dark green here, they're probably eventually going to be focused around Bialystok, Kaunas. We're going to let them help out in the bottom. Just, you know, to give them something to do in the meantime, I guess. Is this motorized? It is. Nope, they can't get any. Wait, it is not. It's just heavy infantry. This tank can get all the way over here, which is nice. This tank can get also over there. And another unit into here. All our airplane ready to go. Well, I think we're okay here. We're holding the urban there. We have at least three solid units defending this. We probably could stand to move 1 unit more into here. Yeah, because this is not likely to attack or whatever. So we'll just shift the forces to a little bit more even distribution. That's solid. I don't think people are going to be leaving Warsaw anytime soon. One idea would be for me to just take this directly to have more places to bombard from. But I think after this bombardment, we'll see that Warsaw's in pretty poor shape. That's what I expect, at least. Okay, I'm not missing anything. Let's go ahead and do it. Bombard with everyone. Let's see how we do. Should be doing better than last time because this one, we have units who can give all 10 rounds. So we saw 2 left early, but 2 left after 5 rounds, if I'm not mistaken. But wow, we did 1,250 damage. Wow, look, killed a whole bunch of units. Even 1 fighter airplane. Interceptor of some kind. Also killed 2 armored cars. Is that the design for armored? No, is that train? I think that's train. We can find out here. 2 infantry gun 1s. I don't see the infantry. Oh, I'm looking and retreated. Bah, here's the infantry guns. 2 of them killed. Okay, we want to look into retreat. I think that's trains then. Okay, 2 fighters we got to retreat. Didn't actually kill any of them. General purpose, mortar, staff, cavalry. Yeah, that was 2 trains. And we killed 1 cavalry as well. Yeah. So brought down their readiness to about 3/4 from 90%. Knocked off about 30 points of entrenchment. I mean, overall, it's not, you know, a dramatic shift in the setup over here. But it's something. We're just nibbling away slowly. It's death by 1,000 pinpricks, ultimately. Then we'll also try to give our air units some experience by doing this attack here. And I hope we don't take... Oh my gosh! They must have flak here. Oh, their airplanes are defending. So we're taking a lot more casualties. I'm not too worried about it because a lot of these airplanes are older. We'd have to get new ones anyway, but that was actually pretty brutal. I was not expecting such a substantial defense. Part of the problem is we didn't have any kind of escorts going in. We don't have... I mean, our aircraft just don't have the the distance. They can't cover that distance. And if you move, I'm not sure if the rules have changed in this scenario, but in the regular game, if you move for example, your fighters into a location that is damaged, they go down to the same ratio of damage that the city has in terms of their readiness, which would be really bad. We wouldn't want, if this is, let's say, 10%, we wouldn't want our fighters entering here and then being at 10% readiness. That wouldn't be good. So that's actually really all we want to do for this turn. I know that it's not much to say. I mean, the other things, of course, is do the usual dance, improve quality. Next turn, 81%. It's slow, but slow and steady, I guess. We'll want to improve our economy. Guess this will just keep going up. Not sure when it ends. And we'll probably also improve another city. Yeah, one more towards the Urals, again, so that if something happens, we don't lose a city, which we've been spending a lot of time building up. Very good. Okay, so that is probably all we want to do for this turn. We're going to move some units forward and all that, but that doesn't need to be done on camera. What else? Is there anything else we need? I don't think so. There's really nothing else that's going to take shape anywhere else for the Russians except for Poland until we have a fake war with Germany to rearrange territory. We get our new territory squared away. Yeah. And then maybe the Finnish war. Well, which reminds me, we do need to do that. So let's play diplomatic discord. Okay, they lost 25 points. Very good. I don't know if it helps us at all to be gaining diplomatic points with them. Really, the goal is just to get anybody but the United States into a position to declare war. Oh, and there it is. We've done it. That was a big surprise, actually. Okay, good. So now we can go to war with Great Britain over that. That's completely fine. We'll talk about that. It's not something we want to do immediately because we got to move our forces over there. But maybe after Poland's redistributed, we can just send everything. Well, not everything, but maybe 2 headquarters worth of units, like just overwhelming fire, which is what happened in the real Winter War and where the Russians still got their butt kicked. So hopefully we do not duplicate history in that respect. Otherwise, I'm going to leave this at a bit of a shorter episode. I don't see anything else I could really go prattling on about, even though that's my normal modus operandi. So yeah, I don't think we'll attack. Not until they're worn down a little bit more. Okay, good. So I'll do everything else off camera. Thanks for watching. And I don't know if I will do the next episode. I might skip until we acquire a new territory. So that'll be like probably 2 more turns or so. In which case you can probably expect a bit of a delay before the next video, possibly like a week or so. But I hope you're enjoying whatever videos are being posted about this series. I know it's kind of slow going. After action report style, a lot less action, a lot more talking. But I'm just going to put these up anyway, if for no other reason than for my own sake, so I can come back and see what I was doing. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.